Good morning, everyone. This is Brian with Forest Hills Memorials. It's Thursday, July 13th, and we have more issues. So we were heading back yesterday from our engraving facility. Still got all the memorials on the truck because pretty much the entire way back it was raining, so we didn't take them off. And then we were on I-90, if anybody's familiar with the area. Pretty busy highway that goes from our area into Chicago. So we're on our way back, and we're just before Boone County, which is probably at least 20 minutes from our office here on 90 anyway. And the old Chevy went into limp mode again, so that was not good nor fun, trying to limp that back all the way from the Boone County line. So but we got her here. It felt like it took longer to get from Boone County area to our office than it did the rest of the drive, which was a lot longer. So I went over and talked to Rick over at Midwest. So Midwest is down the block there. I don't know if you can see our other Dodge down there, but it's on their lot, and Rick was hoping that our Dodge was going to be done potentially today, so looking forward to that. Got all the auto crane parts put back on the Dodge. Auto crane ended up warranting pieces even though it's out of warranty, so a couple of pieces that were failing, and they should not have been. So they went ahead and sent those pieces over to Rick over there, and he put them all on already. And now he's trying to figure out why we're getting power loss and power surges. So he ordered a couple parts for it, and he's hoping to get those on today. So that would be fantastic if we have that truck back. I just honestly want to get a truck with a working crane, reliable, back. So anyway, so Aiden's gonna unload this morning. All of these, I think everything on here. So this big base here is for a project that we'll be doing here hopefully soon. It's over at Winnebago Cemetery. So the family wanted us to redo the foundation underneath their family memorial, and they wanted to put a granite foundation cap under their stone. So we put a granite piece down. And then when I pulled their monument base out, it was wet set in wet concrete. And a lot of times on older stones, when you pull a wet set stone out, the bottom's not sawn flat. So the bottom's still rock pitched. And that was the case on this one. So I called the family and let them know that, we were at that point in the project, and, you can't set a rock pitched base down on a flat cut piece of granite anymore. So we had to bring that in and have the bottom sawn flat, so we were able to adhere it down. So that was finally completed. I think we started that project like last August, so it's taken a while. So Aiden's gonna do that. He's going to unload this truck. I guess this one's also not getting set, this big black base. It actually goes to that larger black die over there. So that base got damaged, so we had the margin on the base, which is this little piece here that's sawn down and polished. It had a chip in it, so we had that repaired. I'm gonna set that big black base and die up over in the corner of our lot where the other black base is. So that piece was a large black die base combo that sold, and we're still working with the family. It was a young man who passed away. We ended up going to the same college together and graduated, I think, the same year. So that family's still working on the renderings for that upright stone. It's been a while now. We did the foundation for that one, I think, probably a year and a half ago. So that granite foundation's already in the ground, goes over to Monroe Center. So So that's what Aiden's gonna be doing today. As soon as Aiden gets done unloading this truck, he's gonna bring the truck over to Midwest, drop it off to Rick. Rick's gonna plug it in and see why it got into limp mode, and if there's something that Rick can do, he's gonna do it. Otherwise, he thinks I'm gonna have to bring it over to German Valley, which is over towards south of Freeport. There's a diesel tech shop out there where they tune diesels, so he thinks that we might have to tune something with the computer to get it to quit going into limp mode. And then while Aiden's doing that stuff, I've got to drive down to Rochelle. We got a couple of things to do down there. I have to look at an existing stone to see if some additional engraving can fit on it. So I've got to go take some pictures and measurements and get a family an estimate for some on-site engraving. And then I've got a bronze final date to put on. And then at that same cemetery, I have to take measurements for a new bronze final date. So I'll show you, but the bronze final dates, those are the ones take a little bit of extra time because you gotta take a couple of trips. So I usually try to do those trips when I got other things going on in the same vicinity, just because driving all the way down to take, you know, a couple of measurements of a bronze plaque, especially, you know, Rochelle from here is probably 40 minutes south, so a bit of a drive to just take some measurements. But that's what I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to try to get back as soon as possible, because when I get back, hopefully Aiden's got all this done. The other thing that he's going to do after he gets this truck completed is get all of our washing stuff ready. Hopefully everybody's okay. So we're gonna go out the rest of the day and clean some markers. So I need him to get all of that stuff ready, make sure the generator and pressure washer's all ready to go, filled up with fuel, things like that. So hopefully he's got all of that ready sitting here on our concrete slab. And I'm gonna call one of the cemeteries, I used to work at, the Catholic cemetery here in town. I'm gonna call them and just see if they have any funerals going on this afternoon, because I don't like having loud equipment running when there's obviously funerals there. So the other thing we have to do is we're gonna be using my truck since we don't have one again. So it's another, it's never ending with the truck issues. So I'll bring you back in. I'm gonna take a drive down to Rochelle, and I'm gonna bring you along with me. Alright, so I made it down to White Rock Cemetery in Shana, Illinois. And what I'm doing here is looking to see if there's enough room on this marker here. So they want to see, I think Carol passed away, and they're looking to see if there's enough room to add her, either her maiden name or her second married name. So I took a measurement kind of above her name panel there, and then I think the best spot for it to go is probably below this double line panel. So probably down here is where we're gonna have the most room to put that. I also took a picture of the back of the stone, so the back of the memorial is completely blank. So it looks like we'll be able to do that for them. I just got to put together a cost estimate for them, and then give them a call and let them know what that would be, and we'll see if they want to go forward with it. But that's stop number one. So now I'm going to head to Trinity Memorial Gardens. That's going to be a little bit further south and east of here, so that's going to be over in Rochelle. So that's where I've got a couple of things to do with bronze. That's a bronze flat park, so I will I'll see you when I get there. All right, so that did not take too long. So they're pretty close with their circle on here. Oh, so I wonder what, that's a strange looking material. I don't know if I've seen, I don't even know what that is underneath the bronze there. It's pretty dirty. I don't know if that's like a marble maybe. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna take those two Phillips head screws out, and then we will put our tab on, and hopefully it fits. This is the thing that's tough with, I've talked about it in the past, every foundry has a different layout, so we do measurements the best we can, and then hopefully they're spot on. So let's see, that's gonna fit perfect. And then hopefully, these are awfully small screw heads, so hopefully this this doesn't go through my tab here, which it actually looks like it's going to. Barely holding on to that. I'm gonna say that's good. So nice and easy. When they work, they're fantastic. So that one's done. I'll take a picture of that, send it over to the wife. We'll call the family, let them know. So this was just ordered in May, end of May, May 30th. So doesn't take too long to get those. And then again, if you're out in the cemetery and you're doing something for a family and you see something that's not right, that flower is supposed to be in that vase. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Doesn't take much, but it's nice to do so that when the family comes out here and looks at this date tab, everything's gonna, and these flags. Looks like the wind has gotten to them a little bit, so we'll get those straightened back up. The ground was probably hard as a rock when they put those in, and then we've had some rain here recently. So we'll take a picture, and I'll send that to Beth in the office. Oh. All right, let's move that. This is gonna be very tight. So what I mean by that is, look at where that screw is almost right on top of where that edge is for this plate to fit. So what I like to do, it almost looks like this one's further away. What I like to do is, so this is gonna be a 3x1 tab probably. So 3x1, and then these screw heads are 2.5 inches apart. See if it's the same, 2.5, 3x1 and 2.5. And then we've got a scroll order form that we put together. So this is 3 inches left to right, 1 inches top to bottom, and then it's 2.5 from screw. Our water buffalo and pressure washer generator, all that stuff. And get ready to go out and start cleaning. I've got a few things in there that we're gonna have to take out, but we will do that for the rest of the day. we'll bring you along because cleaning stones is always fun. I always like those instant gratification things where, you know, you get to see a memorial at its dirtiest, and then when you're done it's spotless and clean. So it's always fun to see that process. So we will bring you along. So we're all loaded up. Aiden got all of the stuff in the back here. I had a couple, our accountant was in and the customer came in. So all of our cleaning supplies is in the truck, and then we just made it to the Rockford Hebrew Cemetery. And this cemetery, there's a Catholic cemetery there, and then Greenwood's on the other side, and then the Rockford Hebrew Cemetery. So on the work order, there's pictures of the stones that we have to clean. So I'll have to, it might be those two right there. That would have been something we could have just parked on the side of the road. didn't have to go in.
Could have probably done it from here even.
So I'm gonna pull in. Aiden's gonna actually start the cleaning process while I have lunch. So I brought my cold grilled chicken breast for lunch.
Keep going to jail, so we'll have more people in jail.
So going in here with the big truck, with a trailer, is a nightmare. It's hard enough with this truck alone, let alone some big trailer you got behind you. So you want to grab that. Should be the top one. Is it Kaplan? Reuben. Alright, so that is not it. So do you want to walk around and try to find those? I'm gonna start my lunch break, and we'll set you up to watch this cleaning. Alright, so we found the stones that we need to clean. And out here, when folks visit, they bring rocks. These are a couple of shells. So those ones were on Sadie's. These ones were on Isidore's. So again, what we're gonna do whilst cleaning is we'll put our cleaner on there. I'm gonna put that on now and let it give a chance to start absorbing into the pores and let it start doing its job while we set up. I've always found that we put new D2 in here this time. The last time, if you remember, we were cleaning, it didn't suds up like that. I'm not really sure why, but I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on the sides. So these markers, even to begin with, weren't really that dirty, but you can tell now that they're dark. They've definitely got some, you know, some stuff in the pores. Look at that. I mean, the suds already are turning colors. I haven't even started scrubbing it yet. So it's already doing its job. It's already starting to pull that out. See that, how the suds are turning green and brown, just pulling all that stuff right out of the stone. Definitely makes cleaning these a whole lot easier, that's for sure. So I'm gonna let that set for a minute. Aiden's gonna get the water flowing. So again, they don't have water here, so we had to bring our own. So we got the Buffalo back over there. That'll bring water down to the pressure washer, and then pressure washer obviously is ran off of our generator, which I will fire up. We love the Hondas. Fire right up. Yeah, go ahead and start trying to get the water to it. I'm gonna go ahead and spray their upright too, because the upright really is the dirtiest thing over here. So we'll get this stuff, just spraying this stuff on will kill all this mildew down here. All this lichen that's attached to the porous areas, it'll kill that. And again, we can just spray this on and let it sit, and over time that'll continue to clean. And then the rain will just wash it off. Look at the difference there already. It's crazy. So, and then you got your Rock of Ages stamp. That's just the quarry in which it came from. Rock of Ages is a granite supplier out of Barrie, Vermont. They actually own that quarry. That's where your Barrie gray granite comes from. I like doing this too. So I mean, you got a beautiful rainbow monument there. It looks in absolutely beautiful shape. So you can tell this stone is mostly polished, so you're not going to have that lichen, moss, and mildew build up on that polish. Whereas when you put a panel and you take the polish off a stone, again, it gives it an area to where the pores are open, and then the stones can get dirty. So just spraying this on there will take a lot of the black out of that stone. And then again, once it rains, it'll wash it off. So that stone, if I come back, you know, in a week or two, will look 10 times better than it does right now just from spraying it on there. And then these stones that we're gonna clean are gonna look brand new again after we get done. Alright, so we let these sit for 5 or 10 minutes. I think it's good when the sun's out because it just kind of bakes it in. And then we're going to go through once more and wash it off. So I'm assuming that since their upright monument is berry gray, I'm assuming also that these flush bevels are also berry gray. And berry gray doesn't have nearly as high of an absorption rate as like a Georgia gray would, which is why those bevels probably looked as good as they did. Yeah, move the generator back. So again, like I was saying earlier, the family didn't contract us to do their upright monument, but we're gonna do it just as a, you know, a thank you, and hopefully they'll enjoy that was done. So Aiden's moving the pressure washer, putting the family's rocks back, and then probably gonna take you off here and get you a little closer action on this, as long as we have water. Start up at the top. All right, welcome back. We are on the other side of town now, so we are in Winnebago Cemetery. This is the cemetery that I run. And here is our Civil War statue. So 1899 is the date that's on here. So I think that all of the carved pieces are sandstone, and then I think it has a limestone base. So with the cemetery, along with the Winnebago Historical Society, we're going to be doing a cemetery walk in September that we're going to walk around and, you know, kind of take a look at some of the founding people of Winnebago and do a tour of the cemetery. So one of the things that we wanted to do was try to get this clean, and you can see it's pretty dirty. So with this being so old, I told a couple of the board members that I would spray a portion of the north side and just let it set for, you know, a couple of weeks, and then come back and take a look at it to see if it's, you know, I just want to make sure nothing happens to the piece. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spray this part and then this part right here, and then we'll come back and... Hi there! You gonna spray?
Sure.
How are you?
All right.
Did Ace have a little pumper?
I was going for a 1 gallon one, but we were all sold out.
Oh, 2 gallons. Yeah,
Would that work
perfect.
for you?
Yeah, and we were just talking, so I'll show you what we sprayed. You remember Aiden? That's my son. You remember Aiden?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so what we sprayed already. So again, I wanted to do a small area just to see what it does when come back and look, but we sprayed, you know, this face, and then also this face, and then the top here. And being north facing, that's really kind of dirty.
Kind of the worst.
So this stuff should kill all that growth just from being sprayed on it. And then it's gonna continue. All right, welcome back. So we just got to Calvary Cemetery and we have 2 stones to clean here. This is one of them. So we're cleaning these in preparation to repaint them. So the family wants us to re-litho these, and we got to get all of the, you know, the dirtiness and that out of there before we repaint them. So we're gonna clean them, get them ready for paint, and then we'll come back in like a week to repaint them. So we've got this one to clean. I'm actually gonna go ahead and spray it. We'll do the apron too. Get everything all nice and clean. That would suck if that would have broke. Did you check that the water was on before you put the hose on it?
It's on, yeah.
The hose is kinked. It's not as normal for when you're hooked up to a water spigot though. It doesn't usually take this long. This one is a fine point.
Good.
Aiden, you didn't have the water on. You had it off. You guys look like you're busy.
I'm supposed to be leaving at 2:30 and I'm late, but I gotta go talk to Nancy. I don't know what the hell she wants.
2:30. So Todd, who I was just talking to there that stopped, I'm gonna have to edit a lot of his conversation out, but he was a part owner of the vault company that we were just at the other day picking up that 8x2 precast. So he sold the half that he had owned to Don, and then now he works out here at Calvary. A great guy, known him a long time. Said he's leaving going fishing up in Canada tomorrow morning, but he wanted to come over and say hi because he saw us pull in here. So nice guy. And Aiden is well on his way to washing all of this off. It makes a big difference if you're hooked directly up to a spigot versus, you know, if you're trying to use our water buffalo. So you just get a lot more pressure. This one I do not mind at all. We're actually trying to take the paint out of this one. There's not much left in it. Neither is there much left in the other one the family has. But we're gonna be getting really close with the pressure washer, getting as much out of all of the engraving as possible. you know, because we're gonna repaint it. So that is the actual goal here. We're trying to get that paint out. You know, most of the time we're trying to be careful not to take it out. So the complete opposite on this one. So we just sprayed D2 on there and then now washed it all off. Now we're gonna respray it with D2 and then we're gonna get really a good scrub on it and then we'll wash it off again. So this is how D2 is supposed to suds up. I know on that last video we had of cleaning, the D2 we had was a little bit older. It was sitting in one of these spray bottles over the winter, so I don't know if that's what made it not so sudsy, but this is what I'm used to. You can really tell when you're getting it scrubbed into the stone. Again, he's going over the polished area lightly, and then he's really scrubbing into any of the frosted area. And then he's gonna go around and on the front here, he's gonna get this is called the nosing of the slant. So he's gonna get the front nosing. It has a rock pitch, and then he's gonna do the sides, the back, and then we're also gonna scrub this apron. So he's gonna do all that. I'm gonna let you watch. I think that's good. So this one will be done. I'm not gonna put any more cleaning solution on it since we're gonna be repainting it. We'll come back next week and apply the paint, and I don't want any of that inside of the area where the paint's gonna go, obviously, so we're not gonna put it on there again. Maybe after we repaint it and that dries, we'll spray it on there to continue cleaning, but for now that is going to be it. So we're gonna clean up, and we're just moving, you know, across the aisle here, so we're gonna move over there. So Aiden's over here getting the first wash done on this one while he's checking his TikTok. He's listening to music. We can get more out of that if we bring it straight from the spigot instead of around the truck if we need to.
Yeah.
Try to reach it though now. So again, the only thing we really need to clean here is where we're going to be painting. And this stone doesn't have any design elements, just names on it that are V-cut right into the polish. So really we just have to get those V-cut letters nice and clean, but while we're here we're going to do the whole thing. And for those of you wondering why I don't help Aiden out, this is probably his favorite thing to do. So I help set up, and then he takes over. And I'll let Aiden go over it one more time. But yeah, if you don't like getting wet, not gonna like doing this. I'll clean you off one more time. Aiden, you want to hit that one more time?
Yep.
Just try to get nice and close in those letters and engraving. Kid goes out and buys himself a nice pair of glasses and he doesn't want to get them wet.
Yeah. It's a pain to...
I'm gonna go bring you over to a bench that that I had created with a monument designer years ago. We'll see what the year is on this, but this is a completely custom bench that we had hand put together. So as far as I know, there isn't anything else like this, because essentially we took a teardrop bench and then took the teardrop mostly away and then custom had that angel carved in there. So that is, again, this whole piece besides where you sit is all one piece of stone, and that angel is just carved right into it by hand still. So very, very cool. So that was back in 2011. There's another very sad story. Very young lady, young girl, but very cool piece. That one took a while to get completed, but I know the family loves it. I talk to the mom every once in a while still. I haven't seen her in a while, but she's a very, very nice lady. It could use new paint too, so you know, that's been 12 years, and you can see in hearts, the bottom right there under the seat, the lettering stands out pretty well still, but the rest of this is all pretty faded. You never know how long it's gonna last. There's no guarantee that lithochrome will last X amount of years. Just depends on the UV that's hitting it from the sun, and it depends on the acid rain. This was another one that I set. These are all pieces I did while I was working here. So I did this one. This should be Meldowney. Did a relief carving on that. This is Gold Star granite. So that was one of the only larger relief carvings that I have done. This young man passed away. His mom and dad go to our church out in Byron. Very, very nice family. His be foot markers in this section, but his foot markers down here. Passed away very young, not much, only a little bit older than me. So that was a unique one that we did, and then did this one. That was a two-piece top, so this was separate, and I had to set it in there and joint tight it in and reseal the top so water didn't get in there. So that was a fun one. And then the last stone we did, this stone we actually did this year. So before I started videoing, we did a larger piece of India red granite for a family in town here, the Vincier family. So we did this one this year and brought it over this spring, like I said before we started filming for the YouTubes. But that was a fun one. George is a super nice guy, the gentleman that ordered that, so that one still looks fantastic. Looks like Aiden is done here, so we'll go check on the work, see what the final product looks like. Looks good from here. It's all wet, so it's hard to tell, but the lettering's hard to see when the stone's dry. Granite absorbs water just like any other rock would, so when it's absorbing that water, it gets darker, and once it's dry, you'll really be able to tell that it's hard to read that a lot of the lithos come out. So it'll be a future video. I'm probably, you know, when I'm making this right now, I probably have 7 or 10 videos that are gonna come out before this one even comes up to YouTube. So a little behind on the editing, but the editing's what, you know, it takes some time. So, and I'm still learning still learning the editing process. So it'll probably be you know, a month before you guys see this, and then hopefully shortly after this episode you'll see while we're painting that. So that is going to be it for us today. I think we're just gonna go home after this. I'll probably go get the girls and head home, but we appreciate you watching, and as always, like I said earlier, we appreciate you hitting that sub note and letting us know. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to shoot us a comment, and we will see you on the next one.